going on, everyone? Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Thank you so much again for taking the time every day to listen to the Sunday school lesson, and I pray that God blesses you through it. And so today we will be, as you've read from the title already of this video, it is the weakness of a rescuer. And so that we find out that the people, or the Israelites, are going to need another person to save them again. And we've been talking about what's called judges, and those people are either political people, or they settle disputes, or they are warriors. And so today we are going to be meeting up with a warrior now by the name of Gideon. And so before we begin, let me read you guys a passage of scripture. And so today we will be in Judges chapter 6 verse 11 through 16, 36 through 40, and chapter 7 verse 7. So listen along as I read it.
Then the angel of the Lord came and sat under the oak that was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon was beating out wheat in the winepress in order to save it from the Midianites. The angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you, O valiant warrior." Then Gideon said to him, "O my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all the miracles which our fathers told us about, saying, 'Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt?' But now the Lord has abandoned us and given us into the hand of Midian." The Lord looked at him and said, "Go, this is your strength, and deliver Israel from the hand of Midian. Have I not sent you?" And he said to him, "O Lord, how shall I deliver Israel? Behold, my family is the least in Manasseh, and I am the youngest in my father's house." But the Lord said to him, "Surely I will be with you, and you shall defeat Midian as one man." Then Gideon said to God, "If you will deliver Israel through me, as you have spoken, behold, I will put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece only, and it is dry on all the ground, then I will know that you will deliver Israel through me, as you have spoken." And it was so. When he arose the next morning and squeezed the fleece, he drained the dew from the fleece, a bowl of full water. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not let your anger burn against me, that I may speak once more. Please let me make a test once more with the fleece. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, and let there be dew on all the ground." God did so that night, for it was dry on the fleece, and dew was on all the ground. The Lord said to Gideon, "I will deliver you with the 300 men who lapped, and will give the Midianites into your hands. So let all the other people go, each man to his home."
So amen to the passage of scripture that we just read. And so moving along forward in Judges chapter 6 verse 11 through 16, we find that an angel of the Lord came to Gideon. Actually, he was beating out wheat. He was hidden. Like usually when you beat wheat or something like that, you're supposed to do out in the open. But then a little backstory, the Israelites were oppressed by a land called Midian. And so whenever they would plant crops or something, and the Midianites will come and see the crops, they will burn it down. And so, without food, the Israelites will starve. And so that was why Gideon had to hide in order to, you could say, harvest his wheat or something like that. And so, but then the thing is, the angel of the Lord called him a valiant warrior. If he was a valiant warrior, shouldn't he be out there fighting instead of beating wheat in the like a little wine press? That's what they say, like hidden, being a coward, you could say. I mean, we are talking about a rescuer, right? But we are also talking about a weakness of it. And so that was his weakness. He was a coward, but yet God still chose him to go and save the Israelites. There we go, his people. And so being the coward that Gideon is, he asked God. He was like, if it is I who you're going to send to save your people, it's like, why me? My family is the least in Israel, and I'm the youngest of my family. And like, Lord, if you are so great, then how has this happened to us? Since the stories talked about how you were so great and all that, but why now? Like, why are we oppressed now? And why are you sending me out of everyone else to go save your people? And so Gideon just didn't understand that. But yet God was like, "Go, I sent you. I will give them into your hands." But then, of course, that was still not enough for Gideon. And so he had to ask for signs in order to, you could say, gain assurance. I mean, he had faith in God, but he just, he didn't have faith in himself. And so he was like, he tests God twice, actually, for double the assurance. For one, he was like, "Lord, if it is I who you are going to send, please do this sign for me." And that was, the first sign was, he would lay down a fleece of wool, which is pretty much like a coat, you could say. Or not a coat, but like the best I could describe it as a blanket. So a blanket. He would lay that out on the ground, and the first night the fleece would be, you know how when you wake up in the morning and the grass is wet, it's dew, and so like only dew will appear on the fleece, and everywhere else will be dry ground. And so that was the first sign. And then the second sign was he would lay down that fleece again, and the outside portion will be wet while the fleece remained dry. And so God did that to him to prove his, you could say his faithfulness as well, his trustworthiness, to assure Gideon that he will follow through with like leading him to victory, and that it was definitely Gideon that he wanted to go save the Israelites. And so with chapter 7, verse 7, we find that, you can say a little backstory, Gideon actually gathered up a whole bunch of people, the Israelites, to go fight the Midianites. And so he gathered 32,000. And then, of course, the first one, he was like, if you're scared, go home. And then 22,000 people left. And then there was just 10,000 left. And then he was like, okay, maybe that's good. But then God told him to take them down to the river and to have them drink water. And so, like, for this one, it was those who bent down to drink the water with, just their plain mouths to the river. Like, those people will go home, while those who reached out their hand and, like, drank from it like that, those people would stay. And so the people who drank with their mouths to the river were 9,700 of them. And so those people left to go back home. And so there was only 300 left. And through these 300 people, God, he actually saved the Israelites through these 300 people. And so it was a miracle. Like 32,000 became 300, but yet they still won. So to conclude this lesson, this message applies to us because, the thing is, God sent a weak person in order to rescue the Israelites. And so with this one, it's why did he choose like such a weak and cowardly person to do something so big, you could say, like saving the Israelites? Well, the thing is, who promised the Gideon that he would win? How has Israel, like the Israelites, been able to accomplish victory all this time? It was because of God. And so it is God's power that will carry them through in the end. And so, what if Gideon had gone with the 32,000 people who he recruited at first in order to win the battle? It's like the people will praise the people. They will praise Gideon. And then God will lose face, and God, like, he wouldn't be in the picture at all. It's like, oh, Gideon is the one who saved us. Good job, good job. He deserves the praise. And so in this case, God had to choose a weak person to lead 300 people to defeat the Midianites, so that in the end, they would see God's power once again.